rules of content marketing. And I'm going to go through each one of these a little bit thoroughly. Some of them I might skip over, but these are things that are just kind of not thought about much, but are very, very important to understand and make sure that we're following correctly. If you don't do it cheap, that's number one. In the world of management of content, but whether you're having a video editor work on your team to edit your videos, or a videographer or a social media manager, or it's just you, a lot of people think like I can hire a $5 an hour virtual assistant in Asia and they can just get it done. But guys, like, let's think about this for a second. If we put videos out and they're really, really shitty quality and they just don't look good and there's misspellings on the captions and that sort of thing, and the context of the video makes no sense, did it really work out for us? Because that's our brand. We want to take our brand very seriously. We spend money on almost everything else, but we're not willing to do it when it comes down to like the social media stuff because it's not going to give us returns immediately. However, that's our brand. So we can't do it cheap. Generally speaking, and I'm not saying just because you hire somebody that's $1,000 an hour that's in, San Francisco, California, that is in, deep into tech and that sort of thing, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to generate amazing results for you too, but just don't do it cheap and don't think that you can just get away with the cheapest and the like penny pinching. I understand like everybody's got their own thing when it comes to what they can expense for business and write off in marketing and allocate to that kind of stuff. But don't just do it cheap just to save $1 because it is your brand. The next thing I would say is don't try everything. If you think that you should start a podcast, start it up. And if everything that I've said has made sense to you and you're going to start a podcast, start that up. But at the same time, don't start with everything else. Like don't be in the middle of like launching your social media campaigns and now you're putting out like 3 videos a day. Like we need to take everything in strides and make sure that we're not just throwing spaghetti at the wall. You're not posting on every single platform that's out there. You're posting on LinkedIn, X, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, podcast, you got to email. Like there's people that do all that, but it took them years to get into doing those different segments as well in those different channels. So don't try everything at once is what I'm trying to get at. Make sure you do it like periodically so you can perfect your craft. So start with the most important ones, then work your way up the ladder. Next thing is don't use jargon and technical terms. And what I mean by this is, if, say for example, again, I work with real estate investors. They use the term cash buyer. Well, a seller, somebody that's selling their house doesn't necessarily know what that means. They probably have a good understanding of like, oh, well, that just means that somebody has cash. And in the early days of when I was working in the wholesaling company I was working in, we would have people call us and say like, what does that mean? Like you're bringing a bag of cash at the closing table to like just drop in front of me and that's how you're paying for the house? We're like, no. It basically means we have like money in the bank right now. Like we're not getting a loan to buy your house or anything. Like we have the money in the bank and you're going to get a check, but it's called cash. So that's the type of stuff that I'm talking about. And in the social media world, like there's a bunch of different like terms and jargons that we might use that somebody that I might be talking to that is not in that world doesn't understand. That's also a really good opportunity to create some content around that too. So that's that. But don't use that in your content. And if you are, make sure you're explaining what it is. Know where they're going and then keep it simple. We got to make sure that we're keeping things simple. And if we don't, we're going to get confused. We're going to get lost, agitated, aggravated, frustrated, and then we're going to throw in the towel and say it didn't work, even though you just didn't give it the right leverage and the right opportunities for it to reach its potential. And then the last thing, stay consistent. Just continue to crank it out and do it. It's honestly, like people think that they just, and honestly too, like when I say stay consistent, it's stay consistent when putting out, but also getting better. Like you want to make sure you're incrementally getting better along the way and not just being, subpar. Like when I say like start off with recording your videos on your phone or whatever, that doesn't mean like 3 years from now you should still be doing that unless it's working. Like if it's working, then cool. But if it's like, if you feel like you can make it better along the way, then do that. It is your responsibility to do that. But stay consistent with putting out. Make sure you're consistently putting out what you set out to do.